Louisiana Beer Review Special Edition, Olde English brand 800 malt liquor. Revisited. It's been years since I've done a solo review. And this is a beer made with water, barley malt, corn syrup, dextrose, and maltose, yeast, hop extract, and hop extract. For a 12-ounce can, it would be 161 calories. This is a 16-ounce can, so it's going to have more calories. 5.9% alcohol. It's certified kosher, and I first started drinking this in 1996, and back then it was owned by Pabst Brewing Company, and the cans, I wish I'd have saved one. They used to say charcoal filtered. Set it right on the can and bottle, charcoal filter. Didn't save any. So got a great Best By date. This must be super fresh. All right. Don't know what distillery. Okay. If I can figure that code out, I'll put it on the born on date on the video notes below. So Molson Coors, who owns it now, they bought it from Miller, who's now under Molson Coors. They bought it from Pabst in 1999, 2000, 1999. They say it has a slightly, they say it has a rich flavor and a slightly fruity aroma. And they say it wears the crown because it's the king of malt liquors, and it's got crowns all the way around the outer edge of that banner. So there's a thick white head, as you can see. And I bought these fresh cans at Mathern's Market, and they were $5.99. Clear gold, and I do see powdery sediment throughout. Little fine particles, definitely. There's only so much filtering you can do, I suppose. So introduced in 1964, but really it replaced an earlier product that goes back to the 1930s called 40s called Ruff's Olde English, RUFF', Ruff's Olde English stout malt liquor. And it says 800. I don't know what the number means, but if you look at if you do internet search, you look at some of these old labels from the 1930s or 1940s or 50s, it says 8% volume by weight on the label. 8% volume by weight, which would be about 9% by volume. So could they have been making a high gravity 9% Ruff's Olde English stout malt liquor back then? I guess so. Said it on the label. Didn't look like I've seen those 10 years ago, those old photos, so it doesn't look like a fake. But they watered it down to make it more acceptable. Now it's 5.9. When I first started drinking it, it was 6 even. On the West Coast, Washington, Oregon, California, probably Hawaii. I didn't see it in Hawaii when I was there last year. Maybe Nevada. Which is not on the coast, but 7.5. So it's still pretty stout out there. Nice lacing. These Molson Coors, Miller brewed beers tend to have the heavy glass lacing, very heavy glass lacing. All right, I don't know if this is sold in England or Scotland or Ireland or Wales or France. I don't even know if it's sold in Canada, so if you live in one of those places, let me know. The Molson Coors website indicates U.S. only, is showing U.S. That's it. So I'm thinking it's only here. All right. It does have a slightly fruity aroma. Now it's water, barley malt, hops, yeast, and they're using the corn syrup, the brewer syrup, as a fermentable. So that all turns into alcohol, but it's still going to give it, to me, a little corn note. Yeah, bread, white bread. Let's go. And now the Crescent Crown, the distributor around here, the New Orleans area uses Crescent Crown as their distributor for any Miller products. They're labeling this as the Olde English 800 Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Well, okay. And they're saying 14 bitterness units. So a little bit higher than your typical American adjunct lager. Sweetness is probably 3 out of 5 sugar cubes, so it's maybe a sweeter than normal beer. Lager. Malt liquor just means a stronger than normal beer. Spaten at 5.2 and Spaten Optimator at 7.6%. Their labels say malt liquor on them. Carlsberg Elephant used to say that. Santa Claus used to. They might still say that. Okay, so it's just a term. They'll avoid using the word beer since it's above 5%. Some states, and maybe even the U.S., doesn't allow beer above 5%. I don't think that's enforced much anymore. Bitterness is there, but I would say no more than 2 out of 5 hop cones. But there is a little hop bitterness to help balance the sweetness. Are they using European noble hops? I don't know. Some of these American beers will use imported hops. Anheuser-Busch InBev, Molson Coors. They have the money to pay for that. Now this is cold out the fridge. I would not recommend drinking this and letting it warm in any way. I didn't put it in the freezer or anything like that. It has a rich flavor. That's that sweetness, that richness. Medium body, slightly elevated, like say medium to high medium. Let's say a high medium body, almost heavy body, not quite. And a mostly dry finish, not totally dry. Okay, so it's not going to be as crisp as like Budweiser or Miller High Life or Miller Genuine Draft for sure. But it has its place. Now there used to be one up until 2021 called the High Gravity 800 8%. That was very rich in the flavor, but a bit over rich. You know, a little bit too strong for me. I thought it's a little cloying, a little too much to take. That was me. I did buy a 24-ounce can once in San Antonio, and I bought that bottle in I think also in Texas. Yeah, I think in Beaumont, Texas once. Then it faded. Never was sold in Louisiana anyway. Now, Rate Beer gives it a 5 out of 100. I think it's a 5, meaning it's undrinkable. You would die if you drank it. And I think an 11 out of 100 in the style. Beer Advocate's saying 53 out of 100. It's awful. Now, by this time, Rate Beer's off the grid. By the time I post this video, they said they are shutting down February 1st, 2025. Unless somebody buys the rights to the website and continues it. Untapped says bad, a 45 out of 100. Which would be like a 55 on Beer Advocate. So they're still saying it's bad. Now, to me, it's not bad. I think it tastes good, and I think it would pair well with greasy food like fried chicken or bacon, like a bacon, lettuce, tomato sandwich. I mean, I don't know if it would pair with beef Wellington. I never had beef Wellington. You know what I mean? Or like a steak and potatoes, spinach salad. It might. I don't know if you were going to a party, if you brought, and they said bring some beer. I don't know how people would take it if you brought this. Some people, well, they probably wouldn't be too pleased because of perception. But can it stand up to any other American adjunct lager? Your Coors Banquet and all the, yeah, it does. And it stands up to the ice beers, which use a different method to get to 5.9. Or in some cases 6. Yeah, I think it's really nice. The score, don't see it in bottles too much anymore. I mean, we were getting these 18-ounce bottles. Haven't really seen them. Well, what am I talking about? Of course we get it in bottles. We get it in the glass 40-ounce bottles, excuse me. 12-ounce bottles, I've never seen that. I know in Shreveport, Louisiana, North Louisiana, you can get 12 packs of 12-ounce cans. It's got a tiger on the front tearing the package, so, but I don't see those around here. So, score, yeah, it's a really solid American adjunct lager. In the style, which is what I always grade beers, it's really high up there. So for what it is, and it can only be what it is, if you're looking to try American beer, you know, just standard, not craft beer, American beers, this would be one to get for sure. Go with 9.3. It's a most excellent American adjunct lager. It's got just enough herbal bitterness to help balance out the sweetness. It's not the kind of thing you get sick of drinking. I mean, it could put on a lot of pounds, though, being 161 calories per 12 ounce. So with the pints, it's going to be more, probably more like 180. So you might want to cool it. Now I have these saltine crackers and this Braunschweiger that I bought at Aldi, German liver sausage. So how's this going to pair with that? And I put some Piggly Wiggly brand hot sauce on it. Well, kind of an oily meat. Kind of a strange little taste there. Tastes sort of like bacon in a paste form. And that roll was $2.99 for that roll, you know, that roll. And I put it in grits today, and it was good with grits and extra sharp cheddar cheese. Dixie Darling yellow grits, some of the Braunschweiger, Borden extra sharp cheddar cheese, with of course black pepper, some more of this hot sauce, diced yellow onions, and diced jalapeno. Made a very good breakfast at 4:15 a.m. So overall, a most excellent beer. Maybe one day down the road I'll revisit it again. If you're a fan of American style lagers, this is definitely one of the top ones. I like it a lot better than the 7.5. Hector sent me the 7.5. He gave up beer reviews, though. He said drinking wasn't for him. And I can understand that. It's not for everybody, you know. Just wanted to do. He wanted to do some other things. So, but that one's a little too rich, a little too much. But this one's perfect, basically perfect. So, Les Bon Ton Relais, a most excellent American style adjunct lager or malt liquor. Malt liquor, always malt liquor. Always malt liquor. So yeah, definitely one to pick up. And I'm going to end this review by saying, y'all go to the Miller Brewery in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and take a brewery tour.